What's up, guys? Welcome and thank you for being here with us on PS Best Friends. This is episode 34 for the week of January 9th, 2017, our first official episode of 2018. That should be 2018. As always, we are the PlayStation podcast by the community for the community. We come to you each and every Tuesday to give you the rundown on all the latest PlayStation news you can possibly need. Miguel's fixing the dock afterwards. This week, we've got PlayStation Store's top downloads for 2017. Yeah, you tried to mess me up there. And another battle royale game is coming later this year from yet another unlikely source. Before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating on your podcast app of choice. That rating will give us a better chance at getting noticed, which will grow our fan base, which will get the Facebook group more populated, which will make it more fun for everyone. As always, I'm your host, Anthony Palm, and of course, we couldn't bring you all the weekly goods without the Brooklyn hot dog cart, Jeffrey Mizrahi.
I think we call them halal carts, actually.
Oh, is that kosher?
Very few. Yeah, technically. Comes from the same book.
And Trubisky's biggest fan, Miguel Alvarez.
Hot garbage.
Like
the
hot
only
dogs
thing I gotta say.
from the hot dog carts in New York.
Yeah, hot garbage.
Let's get into it.
One time, one guy was like, "Oh, $4." I'm like, "I'm in New York. I'll give you 2." He's like, "No." I start walking away. He's like,
Did I ever tell you guys the story of when I had a Brooklyn, not a Brooklyn, I was leaving Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. I had a hot dog from one of the hot dog carts.
$7.
I was wasted.
Tay,
my wife, and I were leaving with my father-in-law and her cousin. We got ripped at fucking Hard Rock Cafe in Yankee Stadium. Mm-hmm. We're walking back.
Never been to Yankee Stadium.
We're all fucking ripped. And we're almost at the train station, and this Ukrainian guy is like, "Hey, you want hot dog?" I was like, "Sure, whatever." So we all get hot dogs. He's like, "You want sauce?" So it's this fucking like neon fucking orange sauce he puts on it.
Yeah, sauce.
Oh my god, it was fucking so good, but I thought I was gonna get fucking dysentery after. Anyways, this is a PlayStation podcast. What have you guys been playing?
Playing a lot actually this week, but last night I did an unprecedented binge of a 13-episode Hulu original Future Man, 30 minutes each. That is, I didn't even straight up, by the way, you don't realize until like you're 4 hours into a binge that like, holy shit, I've been watching this forever. So I highly recommend that show. Future Man is with Josh Hutcherson and written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
Peter Malak?
He's very funny. It's very funny. Watch it.
That show. I've seen trailers for it.
It's funny. It's a good show. There's this one guy who plays one of the characters, and I feel really bad because I tweet out, I'm like, Troy Baker would play this character way better than this guy. I think this guy did a good job at acting out this character. But then that guy, not Troy Baker, responds. He's like, "Okay, period." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. No, you did a great job also." But wow, shouts, douche. Sometimes, yeah, and I felt really shitty. They're like, "Oh, damn,
fucking douche." Miguel, what you been playing?
So I bought a couple games, right? And let me see what I got. So I got Battle. I was actually gonna do it like right now, turn it on and fucking do it in the screen, but I haven't. I got Batman, the VR game.
Arkham VR, yeah.
Yeah, Arkham VR. There you go. I bought. What was the other game? Oh, Steam Deck 2. That's
SteamWorld Deck 2. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Talk a little more about that later.
I went back
on.
What's that?
Do you have the first one? Have you been a Plus member always or no?
Oh, I played the first one because it was they gave it for free, right?
Yeah, I'm saying so. You have that?
Yeah, I have it. I played that. I liked it. It's all right. But I've been grinding on NBA Live 18. The game's so good.
The EA one.
Yeah, the EA one. It's so good, dude. They patched a bunch of stuff and just like actually it's legitimately good. It's like I'm surprised that they got it to work and it's great.
So then that's a what's the word? An unpopular opinion, right? Around these parts?
Not right now. I think now that 2K, the game is passed, it's people are turning and seeing that
wasn't as good. The issue with 2K was all the transaction stuff. So,
and now that the game they fixed the game that the gameplay is really good. It's like right there to 2K. There's less like modes and stuff like that, but the game feels great. And people are turning and playing the game, and they're like, "Oh, it's better than 2K," which is surprising.
We'll see next year. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully next year they could
what they're gonna do
add a
there.
little bit more and
maybe have some
gameplay.
some mudslinging marketing at them.
And don't put any loot crates and the game has loot crates, but not
It's
microtransactions.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they did it smart, and it's easy to get everything. So just play it, and that's it. You get it.
So I have been playing. Actually, I'm drinking some no relation to The Last Guardian, some Bird Dog blackberry whiskey. I got it at a party.
Did you end up playing The Last Guardian VR or no?
No, I didn't. I should.
I heard it was really bad, wasn't it?
Really bad. Looked terrible.
Oh, you played it, right? You tried it out.
You want to see it's Trico's butthole. In VR.
I heard about that.
It's so like everywhere. It's like half of his backside.
Yeah. So I've been playing. I actually got VA11 Hall A or Valhalla.
Oh, Valhalla.
I've been talking about this game for fucking weeks. And I finally got it. It's a very interesting, very cool game to just kind of chill out and play. It's kind of a visual novel, but you interact with it more than a visual novel. Like it's more than just like yes, no, like that type of thing. So that's interesting. I'm playing that on Vita. Still grinding in SteamWorld Dig 2. I'm loving that game. What I'm playing on PS4. I haven't touched Assassin's Creed Origins. That's actually going to be. I'll talk a little bit more about how I feel about that later. But I haven't touched that. I think I might send it back on GameFly. Played everybody.
Doki Doki's Literature Club.
Yeah, Jeffrey and I talked about that. Maybe we'll talk about that like later. Like maybe we'll do like a little mini bonus thing about that game because that game's fucked up. But that game, because of the nature of the game, I don't think will ever come to PlayStation, unfortunately. And then I've been playing Everybody's Golf, which is interesting. It's not Hot Shots Golf. I mean, it's like the gameplay itself, like actually like swinging the golf club.
Meaning
that part of it is basically the same gameplay as Hot Shots Golf, but the setup of it's a lot different. It takes a lot of grinding to unlock the courses, which I did not anticipate. So it's going to be.
You liking it or not?
I like it. It's just going to take a long time to unlock all the courses.
All right.
But it's weird. It's very interesting. I was telling you guys how like when I was setting up a shot in the middle of the course, like I was on the fairway, and as I pressed the cross button to start the power, like to line your power up, literally 4 Asian people, like characters with Asian names, and they're real people. Everyone on the course is real people. 4 people with Asian names all come blasting right at me in their golf carts, like Mad Max style. The second I hit the power button. And so I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, I don't like, so, and then there was another time where it looked
they block? Yeah. Question for you.
They can't actually, they'll like go through you. It's like,
but that doesn't affect the ball neither?
No.
So
they can't affect it, but it's distracting as fuck. So,
yeah.
And then there was another incident.
I mean,
wait, that's essentially, it's like you're playing golf in the tower in Destiny. It's always
basically,
open.
yes.
Like I assume you could go private.
I don't know how to. I mean, you might be able to, but I haven't done that. So, and then there was another instant where there was like one guy and 2 girl avatars that were like, it seemed like they were trying to bang right next to the hole as I was trying to putt on the green. So that was interesting too. So that a very odd game. Very, very like
it's on sale still, right?
I think it's on sale for like $20. Normally it's 40. It's interesting.
Clever.
I mean, if we played together, it might be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But so that's interesting. And then I've been dabbling with some other stuff that I think I've talked about in the past. So we'll get into that.
I once tried doing the golf one. I thought I was going to get into it because also Greg Miller hyped it up on 3D.
Way too much.
Mario Golf. No, not this golf. I'm saying I once did Mario Golf World Tour, I think.
I remember the Game Boy one, like a long ass time ago.
That was an RPG like.
Yeah, actually, I liked the Game Boy one a long time ago.
I think I actually bought that for some reason. Like
Game Boy Color, right? It was either Game Boy Color or original Game Boy. Anyways, we're getting off topic.
3DS eShop games are easy to buy. But yeah, golf. But what I have been playing, shouts out to Dead Rising 4. I finally got that on GameFly. They sent it again. And it's fucking enjoyable. It does that thing where like,
because I know 3 was only on Xbox.
No, I didn't do 3. My Dead Rising history is as weird as the release schedule. I like how it released us on PlayStation systems. I rented 2. Played through about half of that, but the entire game is revolved around a clock, and they have to do things in certain in-game time.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't like that.
I hate games that do that. Stress me out like a motherfucker, and I don't play them if it has a timer. Like Majora's Mask, I tried. I cannot. I want to beat it, but I just can't. And I didn't play 3 because 3 never came to PS4. And this is the first one we had in a while. It came out a year after. It came out a year ago on Xbox One, actually. But they, surprisingly, because I thought it was the worst part of the game, they took away the timer. Or like no surprisingly. And it is super fucking fun. It's not the biggest open world, but they do put a lot of zombies in it. So
that's how 3 was as well. Anecdotally, I heard 3 was still better than 4, which I enjoyed 3 on Xbox.
you played through. Is it not Frank? It's not Frank West.
3 was I don't remember his name.
And it
He's
wasn't
like
Chuck Green.
It
from-
was the
He was like some Mexican mechanic. I don't remember his
He's like
name.
a biker guy.
oh dude.
No,
No,
he's
he's
a mechanic.
Hispanic, bro. Why are you being so racist? Dude?
No, I like legitimately thought he was Mexican. Like I thought that was his actual country of origin. I wasn't trying to be.
It
racist.
looked like they went super like realistic on 3. Did they? I don't know.
Not like
Not really.
more so than 2, but not. I don't
It
know.
didn't
We're
look
getting
as
off-
cartoony.
This is gonna be a big episode. Let's get into it.
I think Dead Rising 4. Oh, and we also did play Dead Rising. Not Dead Rising. I did. Deus Ex.
I played 5 seconds.
you
and
guys
deleted it.
I know. I tried.
Not for me.
I'm like
Not for me.
2 hours into it. It's super janky, and it's just like I feel like first of all, none of this lip syncing is on, which is crazy. How like it's like their mouths aren't even open and they're saying shit. I'm like, really, guys?
I did
And
notice that.
I'm like an hour into
just
Transistor, which I've never played.
Yeah, Transistor's on sale for $5 for another
Playing
week.
this
I'm
first
thinking about
time.
Great game.
You played it, Miguel?
Yeah.
You beat it? You liked it?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, dude, that song, dude, it's so great.
I really like Bastion, so I should maybe pick it up. I have credit in my wallet.
Bash's music was great. Transistor's music's great.
Yeah.
The other one that is Pyre is still on sale too. That's also Super Giant. It just looks like a single player MOBA, and
It's
long
like a football,
there's a sport thing.
football
but I think
MOBA, something. I don't know.
like playing cards related to it.
yeah,
That lost me when I heard that.
because I love the art style and I want to support Super Giant. I just don't think I'll like the gameplay itself.
Yep.
But yeah, no, they're a good
the same.
studio, and I think that's about all I played.
And they're supposed to be a great game, right? It's like it's in
Pyre-
like the 90s or something like that, like
Pyre
high
is on
80s or
it's on people's like top
Yeah.
games of the year. 100%.
I know. That's why I'm thinking like maybe I should give it a chance, but I don't know. Speaking of top games
Gameplay.
of the year, let's get into the show.
You can't gameplay. It is time for
oh, that's right.
the Islander Report.
There'll be some news.
There are, I don't think this is updated, or was it 7 items on the list?
There are 4 items on the list.
No,
Hey,
5.
Captain's count.
5.
No, 4. That doesn't count. That's not one.
We're talking about the top downloads and then the quick news.
That's
Oh
3.
no, yeah, 4.
Come on, dude.
Starting off,
You just started drinking and
new
it's already
podcast.
affecting you.
we have the top. I'm getting text messages. Downloads of 2017 on the PlayStation Store. FYI, the charts here are based on the number of downloads from the PlayStation Store, not total revenue. So, not how much the game costs doesn't make a difference. For PS4, we have Call of Duty World War II,
No surprise.
of course, yeah. Destiny 2, not really surprised,
No
but
surprise.
expected.
No.
They have Activision has a huge marketing push. Friday the 13th, the game.
Surprisingly.
I'm
I'm surprised on this one.
Yeah, that came
Dead
out.
by Daylight is such a better game, man.
Yep.
Ugh.
It must be
It's the name. It's the name.
it's-
sold
It's
it.
the name
The
the
name
name.
sold it.
Was the second one I was gonna say, but it must have
and the
such
price.
a like
Cult.
let's play feel, and that's like let's play following. So like people see on streams and stuff, and they buy it themselves.
I guess, but the gameplay itself is just so broken. It's like it's so weird that this game's so, well. The other thing too is that this game can only at the time, like for a majority of the year, could only be bought digital, whereas all these other games
Exactly.
could have been split between digital and physical. So you got to put that into account a little bit.
I still haven't played it. It's on my GameFly queue. Maybe.
Don't bother.
Nope.
Get Dead by Daylight instead.
Next up, Horizon Zero Dawn. Cool beans. Grand Theft Auto 5. In
Somehow.
2017, yeah,
Still
of course.
going.
I mean,
I mean, we all bought it again.
two of us bought it in this year.
Yeah, but I
Um,
bought it used physical, so
Uh,
I'm not one of these.
Oh, I got it physical too. So
Yeah, so you're not one of these either. So Jeffrey's the only schmo that bought it digital.
Number 5 spot. Number 6, NBA 2K18, of course. 7, Rocket League.
No surprise.
that's surprising too.
I think
I
that
don't
was
think so.
on the top
Really? I don't
10.
think so.
In the year it was free. just because it was downloads and everyone downloaded it. I'm not sure, but
You got to remember they had a huge marketing push with WWE. They had a huge marketing push with Fast and Furious.
they have their
They had
own
a huge marketing push.
now.
Yeah, and they have their own. They have Rocket League,
Or-
like the ESL or whatever it is.
RLCS. You think that contributes to downloads?
ESL is.
Yeah.
If they have to set up for a
Plus the
tournament,
prize
and
probably
they
helps
have, like,
too.
a bunch of stations. You think they have to download that onto the system, and that counts as a download?
Probably.
8 Minecraft PlayStation 4 edition, 9
Not
Madden
surprising.
NFL 18, and 10 what was like the top selling game all year, like in the middle of the year,
Like half of the year.
Yeah, for half the year.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon Wild.
I was surprised that it's that low. I thought it was gonna be like top 5.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it was selling high on.
It might have just trailed off towards the end.
Physical, but wasn't that the top selling game? Like
For at least for 3-4 months, I believe.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, it was on
we
NPD, and NPD. I thought for most of the year was physical.
It is.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're
It
getting
might be higher in a couple weeks when it comes out.
That's a good point.
Let's skip PS4 add-ons. Obviously, Zombie Chronicles is number one.
A lot of
Call
of Duty and Destiny stuff.
PS4 add-ons is great because the top selling PS4 add-on 2017 was a Call of Duty 2015 DLC. That's just awesome.
That's a good point. But it did come out in 2017.
Anything big? Tom Clancy's Year 2 pass, Siege on number 7.
I'm glad that Frozen Wild sold decently.
Yep.
Number 4.
Horizon Zero Dawn Frozen Wild's at number 4 spot. PS4 themes. I don't know why they added this. The number 1 is Legacy
skip it.
Dashboard.
Skip it. Who cares?
Yeah, let's skip the rest.
It was free, so I mean, everybody downloaded
Let's
it.
do PSVR games just because.
I'm a little disappointed on an omission, but let's run through them fast. PSVR games. Number 1, Job Simulator,
Wasn't
Super
out
Hot
long enough.
VR, PlayStation VR Worlds, I Expect You to Die, Batman Arkham VR, The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim VR.
Yeah, buddy.
VR, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, which was a plus game, and Drive Club VR.
Question.
You're going to say Accounting Plus, it wasn't out long enough.
Yeah, true. It had very little. Was the Rick and Morty game's not on this?
Rick Out
It's not out.
on Vive and Oculus, but not on VR. It's coming, but not out yet.
I mean,
I'm
surprised.
surprised that Job Simulator is still number 1 because I think last year it was number 1 too.
That's the game that it's like, that's one of the first things people reach for. They're like, oh, what's a VR game? Job Simulator.
Well, this was
It's such
really
a game to show people, you know what I mean?
This was the first full PSVR year. You know?
True.
Yeah.
But surprising or not surprising, Skyrim VR up there. It had a month really, and up on. PS Vita games, Sad State, God of War Collection, and then a 99-cent Adventure Time game as number 2.
It's a good game though. It's actually like, I mean, not good, but it's a
Does
respectable.
it have a platinum?
The Adventure Time game?
Yep.
Is it easy?
It's like a Zelda game.
This one is.
Really?
I played the first one on DS, which
No,
was
Secret of the Nameless Kingdom is like a 2D Zelda game.
I
It's
think
actually really good for $1. It's really good.
and shouts out to Star Wars Battlefront 2 at number 9 spot. A PSP
Wait,
game.
question for this one: is this like the new game or like an older?
No, this is the PSP release.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 'Cause when I saw that, I'm like, really? Is it on the PSP?
Shout out also to Persona 4 Golden, still going strong at number 5. Salt and Sanctuary at number 6 was only out for part of the year.
Surprising,
It came out in 2016 on PS4, and then the Vita port got released later. It was cross-buy, so if you owned it on PS4 and you didn't know it came out on Vita, go download it.
Surprised
And
that
then-
PlayStation also Battle Royale is
at
at
10
10.
spot on Vita.
10
Yeah.
stop. Yep.
I forgot that even came to Vita.
And then
And,
let's skip the classics.
Well,
As
classics is San Andreas.
San Andreas.
at number 1.
And
GTA
Bully
game.
number 2.
That's about it.
Not
All right,
bad.
cool. Next up in the new, good year. Nothing really surprising outside of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that one was surprising.
Quick news. Number 1, Sean Escayeg, I think I pronounced that right. The creative director on Uncharted: The Lost Legacy is leaving Naughty Dog after 7 years with the studio. I saw on his Twitter he was saying he worked on 2, 3, or 2 Last of Us 4, and then Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
He is potentially moving on to join the team at Crystal Dynamics to work on its upcoming Avengers game, as he
That's
recently posted the Avengers logo on Instagram, writing "to new adventures" in the caption.
That's a big deal,
But
man.
it hasn't been confirmed though.
But if that's true and he's going to Crystal Dynamics, he's going from Naughty Dog to the wannabe Naughty Dog. And I say that sounds kind of derogative, but I mean
Crystal Dynamics
in a
did
good way. They did Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
that came off as derogative. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying like they're
The
Crystal
games are
Dynamics is
similar.
the closest studio to Naughty Dog that I would say, because the games are so similar and they're so good at making those Tomb Raider.
But would the Avengers game be similar to like something like that, like Tomb Raider or
I have
Uncharted?
no idea what that's going to be. That game is going to be something. Is
Yeah,
this
we'll find
Crystal
I, I expect to play with all the characters, right?
all the main Avengers characters.
Yeah, all the main Avengers.
I don't think it's
Um,
going to be a roster like Lego Avengers, but yeah, it'll probably be the main like 6.
Yeah, the main like 5, 6, 7 maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Crystal Dynamics was on Avengers. I don't know if you guys are following this.
That was announced a long time ago.
Is this the Tomb Raider team, or did they split into teams?
No, this is the Tomb Raider team, and it's rumored that Eidos,
There's 2 teams. Yeah,
that did
go ahead.
Deus Ex, is the one that's working on
The next Tomb Raider.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider or whatever it's called.
The Shadow. Interesting. That's gonna be a game. Hopefully, it comes out. Next up, we have free to play.
Hopefully, it's on both systems. It releases on both systems.
It'll be on both. Yeah, they're not going to.
I hope so, dude, because that's going
Who
to
would
hurt
it be
them if they do not.
Who would it be exclusive to? PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
they
They have
Xbox.
done it on Xbox
So,
twice
right.
already,
Oh,
and
'cause
that
Crystal-
hurt sales a lot because they keep doing that.
They won't make that mistake again, unless Microsoft is paying them out the ass.
Man, that's
Maybe
so
because PlayStation got Spider-Man, so Marvel. I didn't even realize Hulu has their own.
I was
Hulu-
talking about
Marvel
Tomb
show.
Raider, not Avengers.
We're getting
you're
off
talking-
topic. Next.
Oh, I thought you were talking Avengers.
No.
Free to play hero shooter Paladins is getting a battle royale mode called Battlegrounds. Developer High Rise announced that Paladins Battlegrounds will be free to play and drops 100 players into 20-minute matches set on a large map, and it will launch later this year. So Paladins, if you're unfamiliar, are those is the free to play Overwatch looking game.
So a hero shooter.
It's a clone.
type of-
Just say it's a clone.
It's okay. It's not the worst. I played it.
I
It's funny,
wonder.
Kotaku posted an article about saying how they they're shamelessly making a Battlegrounds mode or something, and then some Twitter salt master was like, oh yeah, it's like they were like talking shit about like how is it shameless when Fortnite did the same thing, and then Jason Schreier is like, because it's called Battlegrounds.
So I have no issue with that because even the PUBG name, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, is kind of admitting that Battlegrounds is a thing anyone could put their name on. It's like he's like, oh, I got to put my name on this one. So everyone
I don't have
knows.
a problem with it, but it is a little shameless.
Yeah.
I wonder how balanced is gonna be because you're gonna have the hero shooter thing still in the game.
Are there going
So-
to be pickups? Did they say anything about that?
I'm not sure.
think they
They
announced
just release a trailer and there's no gameplay. There's nothing. There's just like couple characters
Miguel
here
will
and
be
there,
on
and it's
that
like
one when it comes out.
probably not.
How would you
I'll
throw,
probably
like,
try it, but
Yeah, Miguel can report back on that when it goes live.
into Battlefield? And then last up, Rocket League has hit another major milestone, reaching 40 million players across PC,
That's
PS4,
great.
Xbox One, and Switch.
Good for them.
What does that mean, players? Is it like units sold or?
It might be like just individual players. So
Like
if
how
one
many
person
players
bought
have
but
played
there's
it?
3 players on the
Yeah,
console,
I
like
guess.
3 accounts on the console, maybe. I don't know. Active users. Who knows?
I-
Good for them though. Whatever this
number.
means, good for them.
Whatever it means. And now here is the first of 2018, but very light list of PlayStation games coming to every possible PlayStation game platform as read by your best friends for the week of January 9th. First up, we have The Count Lucanor, PS Vita Digital. PS Vita ain't dead. Energy Invasion, PS4, PS Vita Digital, out 110. Happy Drummer, PS4, yeah, wow. It's called Happy Drummer PS4 on the PS4 Digital, out 111. Little Red Lie, PS4, PS Vita Digital. Planet Base, PS4 Digital, out 111. Plox Neon, PS4 Digital. Sword of Fortress, the Ono Museum, PS4 Digital. Oh, and on the art, it says a Gilson B. Potty's game, so it's his game.
So it
That's-
is a very light week for
Yeah.
the drama.
I mean, there's still games releasing for the beta, which
That's good. But it's a
tells
lot of
that
different
it's
things in there.
it still sells games, right? If they're releasing for it,
Listen, I just bought a new Vita. You know what I mean? Like I still, even
you
though
imported it, right?
I bought an import one. Yeah, even though
Yeah.
I'm still playing my Switch a real lot, I still play my Vita all the time. It's a great fucking. I love my Vita so fucking much.
Well, hold up. I mean, think about it this way: the Vita shouldn't be dead in terms of like it being long on the market. It's been out. It came out 2012, so it's 6 years. PSP came out in 04, and in 2010, I feel like it was getting games still. No, the PSP 2010.
I don't
2010. So when did Birth by Sleep come out? Look that up. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, because that was like
honestly,
the tail end of the PSP era.
If PlayStation was smart, I think they would well, in my opinion, right? Release the PS Vita, like a new version of it, but take out the back, that,
and then just use triggers that could act as
triggers, dude. Yeah,
and then old games like legacy games could just use the triggers as if they were the back touch.
Exactly, dude. It's so simple to fix that little thing that you just re-release it.
You would also need clicking sticks.
Yeah, that's true for sprint.
I mean but that's easy to do though. I think it would be.
I just don't think they're interested in it right now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're not because the PS4 is selling like hotcakes. But if they wanted to do that really
Vita
quick,
is now officially the fastest selling home console. So maybe that'll
the Switch is
the Switch, not the.
It's not a home console, dude. I hate when people keep saying that. Well, for them it is.
They have a portable console in the 3DS. That's their argument.
It's crazy.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's their argument.
I hear that argument on both sides all the time. I have a friend who will not admit it's a home console, and then other people who are like, "Dude, I never take it out of my dock." It's like that's what it's for.
Interesting.
Either
I
way,
played it more as a home console and the dock, so I guess it is.
Yeah. And you're the one making the argument that it's a portable console.
But it is, dude. Like a lot of people that I hear. That's because I'm not like you guys that like you played it somehow when you're taking a shit at your work. For an hour.
Switch. No. I play the Switch on my lunch break. Play Vita on my lunch breaks.
But you guys played it so much, and Jeffrey does it too, and I just don't. I can't do it because of my job.
Like
probably
5 hours in like Mario Kart, and like
you don't take
played a little bit of all of the other games that you have.
It's I'm driving. You don't even fucking day, so I can't like take it out. I done it a couple times, like in my break, like for like 15 minutes. I'm like, fuck, I want to keep playing, but I gotta.
Be good for.
Yeah, true.
And now it is time for the part of the show that everyone has been waiting a couple weeks for, because we are behind everyone else on the internet because we wanted to finish up a couple games. So now it is going to be time for the topic of the episode, which is our Game of the Year discussions. So we're going to be starting with our dishonorable mentions. So why don't we we'll go one by one. Each of us list off however many.
One or two.
This could be disappointing games. It could be games that you just thought were flat out bad. It could be games that you thought you were going to like and that the game necessarily isn't bad, but you didn't get into. So who wants to go first?
So I'm going to start off. We said on last week's episode, so I won't harp on it too much, Mass Effect Andromeda. I wasn't really too excited for this game just because I love the Mass Effect original trilogy, but just the way they were marketing it and the hype before it, they really weren't saying it much, and they really didn't show us a lot until very close to when the game came out.
Yeah, we figure out why though.
Yeah, exactly. And then it comes down, it's like, this is a little weird. The faces look weird. I personally
I have a little bit to say about Mass Effect as well. I'll wait for my turn.
It just didn't grab me. There were a lot of long loading screens. Like in 1.0, Mass Effect Andromeda, they cut that out. I remember like in April something, but to just go to each planet was like 3 different 20-second animations, and that's just like harvesting resources and shit. That didn't really hype me up that much. And besides that, I don't know. I wasn't really. Not going to give any dishonorable mentions. Destiny, of course. I'll be talking about that later, though, why it's my top 5. Spoiler alert, little hinting over there.
Spoilers ranked way too high.
But spoilers, yeah. I mean, I've said enough on the episode. I don't really think I need to say again, but, it has a lot of potential.
You like what you like, bro.
Destiny 1, yeah. But that's why I'm gonna give it a dishonorable. And besides that, I'm gonna pass it off to Anthony.
So I have 3 games listed under my dishonorable mentions. The first one, I'll just kind of go over Mass Effect as well because Andromeda was on there. I thought the gameplay itself was fine. I thought it was fun.
The jumping, yeah, I remember that. The dashing places, that was cool.
That was all. The gameplay itself was fun. I had fun in the multiplayer. with with some friends. I didn't play a lot of it, but I played a couple days worth. I was disappointed that I didn't like the characters. I didn't think the characters felt Mass Effect enough for me. I thought the story felt very ham-fisted. Like it was kind of like, we really can't touch the Reaper storyline, so let's make up a whole new thing out of left field. And I thought the story, it felt very fan fiction-y to me. But I should go back to it eventually. But yeah, it was very disappointing for me. So that's that one. And then the other two games I have, the first one is the one that you all remember me talking about, Fate Extella, the Umbral Star. I was so hyped to get this game on GameFly for Vita. I was like, this is totally going to be up my alley. And then I got into it, and I was like, whoa, this is not
you couldn't get into it?
This is some real weird weeaboo shit, and I just cannot deal with this. I sent it back after like 3 days. I was very disappointed. I was so hyped for that game. Everyone hyped it up for me, and then I couldn't deal with it. It was too fucked up for me. And then my third game is Drawn to Death. I was very disappointed in this game. I thought
Really?
it came out
This year?
I thought it could have been so cool. I think it was early summer. The concept was really cool. It's the characters literally being like drawings from a notebook, and it was just a very just mean-spirited game. Like, it's one thing like Call of Duty where it's like the players.
Wait, meaning?
I'm explaining. So Call of Duty, the game itself is not mean-spirited. It's the players themselves that are like, fuck you, like all that shit. Drawn to Death, it's just a very mean-spirited game. Like, the whole game is based around like fuck you, and everyone fucks themselves and everyone sucks, and it's just like it's not even that I got offended by it. I was playing it and I was like, it's just kind of corny to me.
You're saying about the players that are playing the game, or
the
actual
game itself?
But that's how they pitched it. I don't know where you were expecting.
But that's what I'm saying is like,
Matthew was tweeting about this the other day, and I was reading it, and he's like, yeah, the whole point was like satire, self-aware, and it's like people were shitting on the game for it.
I'm not saying off like that while I was playing it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it felt very forced. It felt very like, we're trying to be douchebags, but you're just coming off like a douchebag. You're not coming off a satire. And the gameplay, if it was like that, but the gameplay ruled, I would have been like, whatever. But the gameplay was very.
My thing was the gameplay, that it was bad, and the online.
That's what I'm saying, is that if the gameplay held its weight, I would have got over that part. But it's a very mean-spirited game. The satire did not come through at all for me personally, and the gameplay was bad. So that's my 3.
All right, not bad. I got 2 mainly, but I do gotta say the Mass Effect. I did play it. I told you guys I played like 30 hours. I don't think it's that bad. It's like a solid 7. First, I gotta say that I didn't play the first 3.
That's why
I played it after the patch. They patched the whole game, so got into it when the game was complete, I guess.
But that's where we differ. I'm comparing the character story.
That's what I'm saying. It's a solid game.
Ones you didn't have anything to compare it to. So
yeah,
I wish that I could.
The gameplay feels great though.
If it was just called Andromeda and it wasn't a Mass Effect game, I might have liked it more.
All right. So the first one is NBA 2K18. We all know why, right?
They ruined that game with VC.
They wrecked it with VC. They just everything that you earn, everything that you need to purchase, anything that for the upgrades you need BC, and you earn it so slow. To change your beard or your haircut, you needed to pay so much for it. It was just they ruined that game. And the first one for me is Call of Duty World War II.
I was gonna say that too.
The campaign, I don't play the campaign, so I stopped playing the campaign. But the multiplayer, they ruined that. It feels so rushed. Like, I don't know if you guys remember when there was a report that Sledgehammer wanted to do like the next Advanced Warfare, like Advanced Warfare number 2. And Activision told them like, hey, you guys got to do boots on the ground, like World War II game. And you could feel it in the multiplayer. Like, they did a solid job supposedly in the campaign, and zombies is all right. But the multiplayer seems like, especially with 9 maps, they're chaotic. The weapons are imbalanced. I could keep going, but I'm not. Disappointing how the game is. Fucking sucks.
All right, so those are our dishonorable mentions. Now time for our honorable mentions. So we could do same order, Jeffrey first.
Okay.
I have a lot, but I'll go through them quick.
Let's keep it to like a couple.
Yeah, start off, Anthony. I'm trying to look through.
All right, so like I said, I have a lot. I'll try and go through them quick. Final Fantasy 15 technically didn't come out this year, even though majority of the game I played this
But most of the DLC came out this year, right?
all of the DLC came out this
okay.
year. I believe.
Give you that one.
Maybe Gladiolus came out in December, but I don't believe so. I think everything came out this year.
Right.
So I love that game. If Miguel wasn't breaking my balls about it, I probably would have put it on this year's top for me. So love that game. It was my game of the year probably last year. I don't remember everything that came out last year, but it's definitely at least number 2. Stardew Valley for Switch. This came out on PS4 last year. And also there is a Vita port coming out soon as well. But I played Stardew Valley mostly on Switch. Enjoyed it a lot. Rainbow Six Siege, I just want to give a quick shout out to because that game is an ongoing game and it's a great game. I can't wait for
best tactical shooter right now.
Yep. Hearthstone's another ongoing game, which is a quick shout out to that. We're not going to go into it that much. And then Hue was a PlayStation Plus game. Really enjoyed Hue a lot. Really enjoyed Hue a lot. Darkest Dungeon, Crimson Court. I've talked, at length about Darkest Dungeon on the pod a lot. A lot of these games either came out last year, but I played them a lot in 2000. Came out in 2016. I played them a lot in 2017. Darkest Dungeon being one of them. One of my top games. One of my top Vita games. Spectre of Torment was Shovel Knight's DLC. I consider it a DLC. Jeffrey considers it a full game. We just defer on that, but I don't have an issue with him considering it a full game. So I wanted to give that a shout out here, but I loved Spectre of Torment. It was a much, much better DLC than Plague Knight, I think. Plague of Shadows, I think it was. Lawbreakers, I want to give a shout out to because that game was a really fun game that just got killed. Overwatch was just too big and no one bought it and it's just not populated. And then a couple Switch games, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle far exceeded my expectations. Mario Odyssey is the top 5 overall game for me. And of course, Breath of the Wild, just because of the sheer magnitude of that game. And then I think there was one. Dragon Quest Builders I played a lot too. Very, very fun game. It was a lot less of a Minecraft clone than I thought it would be. Very RPG heavy. Very good game. And that's coming out to Switch as well soon.
Yeah, I was surprised how unlike Minecraft that was. People were making it to be very Minecraft.
Yeah, I totally thought it was just going to be a Minecraft ripoff, and it was actually a really good game.
All right. Miguel, you want to
go? Go ahead.
So first off, shouts out to a game that didn't come out this year, Black Ops 3, just for having DLC support. We talked about Chronicles earlier, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Chronicles was awesome.
Wolfenstein 2, shout out, not in my top 5, but I thought the story was really good. I had little issues with the gameplay, like I said.
Yeah, we've discussed that in the past.
The difficulty where it's not difficult. It's just like, why are guys spawning behind me?
Design more than difficulty, I think.
Fractured but Whole, shout out. Thought that was pretty fun, but then again, it went too long. I'm trying to make a video on this, but just I haven't gotten any good footage. Battlefront 2, want to give a shout out. Getting a lot of shit this year, rightfully so, even by us. But like there are really cool moments when you're in the multiplayer and you see like Yoda in a duel in a fucking corner of Mos Eisley with like Kylo Ren or something. Really cool stuff. But yeah, those are some good shout out games.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. I got a couple too, I guess.
Sonic Forces.
Oh, there you go.
Honorable mention.
Very divisive. Honorable mention.
Honorable.
My first one is MLB The Show 17, because that game's always great, and then everybody just forgets it because it's baseball, and I guess nobody likes baseball.
And it's PlayStation.
And it sells. Yeah, it's PlayStation only. AC Origins, great game. What I played so far, really into it. I dig it that the change they made from, what was it like? Because it feels like more an RPG now than what it felt like before, right?
Yeah.
So I love that change. And what's the other game that I was looking for? I might get some shit, but Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor. I liked the beginning until you start getting into the grindy stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting that on my dishonorable mention, but I didn't dislike it, so I didn't want to give it. I didn't want it to come off as giving it shit. But I agree. It got very, very, very repetitive.
Yeah, very grindy at the end. Like just to like level up, it's just really grindy.
Not even grindy as much as just repetitive.
Yeah, it's repetitive. Yeah, you got to do the same thing over and over and over
in different areas. So it's like you do. Yeah. So All right, and then
Also, we all played honorable mention, which I had a lot of fun while we were playing. There's even a video about it. Wildlands. I thought Wildlands was very fun this year.
yeah, Ghost Recon Wildlands was really fun. Miguel, for some reason, hated it, but I had a lot of fun playing.
I didn't hate it. I just don't like it.
No, but I think if we played together more and did more Let's Plays of it, it'd be fun. I think we had a lot of fun doing that.
It has potential, yeah, but I felt you were like what you were saying about Mordor. I feel like every mission was a little too samey, though they weren't. Like I'm even thinking that like some were like, oh, take a plane and stuff, but I feel like the majority.
Here, this is the thing. I probably burned myself because I played when they released the beta,
You played that.
and they gave. Yeah, I played the whole little map,
area.
the little area, and I clear everything out. I'm like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. I'm done. I already played the game.
I mean, the map is fucking huge.
Yeah, it is, but it's
There's
like I
different stuff
cleared
to
the
do.
whole
I'm
thing,
not
and I was
gonna-
like, I was done.
All right, so next we're gonna do any games that did not qualify for our top 5 for any reason or another. So for me, there was a couple that I just didn't put enough time into. That was Nier Automata, Neo,
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Origins didn't put enough time into, and Everybody's Golf didn't. I just haven't put enough time into it. And then 2 games I did not play at all, which were What Remains of Edith Finch, and I know Jeffrey's very high on that game. So, and it looks like a game I would like. I just didn't get around to it. So that may be an asterisk for next year. And Evil Within 2, just never got to.
Okay. Jeffrey?
That did not qualify. So I guess I put games here that I played this year, but didn't come out this year. So like
Well, no, it would be games that you either didn't play long enough or didn't play at all in 2017. That's what this category is for. You did the opposite. You should have put you should have put the stuff you just talked like that you just mentioned in the last category.
Yeah, I feel like
Put
these
the stuff in the last category in this category.
All right, copy and paste those over.
Well, there wasn't anything you just didn't play enough that came out last year.
Like Nier or
Nah, Nier I
Neo.
didn't enjoy. Yeah, any game I played this year, I would have beaten it. Horizon, there you go. Did not qualify. Horizon, I beat.
Didn't
the
you
game.
like beat the game?
No,
I
that
beat the
counts.
game.
You beat it.
No, but I didn't play. Like it's an easy platinum, I know, and I didn't even get even like I got like.
But you beat the game,
You beat the game. That's not a did not qualify. Did not qualify is you either didn't
or
play
you
it
didn't get into it.
or you didn't play it at all.
I feel like
If
I
it's not
didn't.
you didn't like it, then it would be.
All right, so then every game qualifies for me this year.
So skip it, Miguel. Any games that you just didn't play long enough? Or didn't play
Yeah,
at all?
Resident Evil 7. I started it. I'm like probably like 2 hours in, like 2-3 hours in.
Have you played
So I
it
haven't-
since you told me the part with the police officer?
No, I haven't. I just
Okay,
haven't
yeah,
gotten
so
into
then
it.
I would say that's did not qualify then.
Yeah, I haven't touched that since. And
Got to get back to it, man. It's so good.
yeah, I heard it's good. It's just I gotta be in the mood to play it.
Yeah. I
Like
feel-
AC Origins, I want to keep playing it. Like I don't qualify that.
well, that's why that didn't
Because,
qualify. I
yeah,
just haven't wanted to play it. It's not even.
Like,
I enjoy
need-
it a lot. I just don't.
Same.
I'm not in
I
the
need
mood
to
play
be
it.
in the mood to play that certain game, to play it. If not, I can't. I just started and I'm like 20 minutes in. I'm like, I just gotta play something else or just turn everything off. But AC Origins and Resident Evil, I gotta play them.
You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna put Dead Rising up there as does not qualify.
I mean,
think
you're enjoying it, yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, but I mean, I'm only like half.
You haven't played it,
long.
yeah.
See, that's a qualifier.
And that has a lot of content that I didn't even touch in it. There's like all these added stuff like Capcom Heroes and stuff. There's like a mini golf.
Yeah, they did add a lot of like extra stuff to it, right?
Frank's big package. Yeah.
Question: Did any of you guys played Prey this year?
Mm-mm.
No, I've been.
That's,
That would
Came-
go under that for me.
And I heard it was really good too. So
I heard mixed. I hear like
Some people really liked it. Some people were meh on it.
yeah.
okay.
And the next category, which unless you guys have, I think it's just me. I did my top 5 for VR. I separated them out. So
I'm gonna
my
throw one on the list that I don't think you haven't played yet. But go.
So my top 5 VR games, starting from 5 going to 1, would be Rec Room. Really enjoy that game. I think it's got a lot of potential, especially if we all play it together, or even if just we do like a one-on-one paddleball or something. It's just fun. It's fun to fuck around in. Resident Evil 7. Okay, never mind. I didn't write this in order. Never mind. So whatever. This is in no order then. Resident Evil 7, I think, is actually a really good VR game as well. It didn't feel just tacked on. It actually makes sense while you're playing it. Accounting Plus, very, very fun, silly, stupid Justin Roiland game. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And then a Monster of the Deep, Final Fantasy 15. No one
That's
else
a
seems to
fishing
like
game,
this
right?
game, but I fucking love this fucking stupid fishing game. It's great. And then, of course, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim VR. I think it was a very well done VR port of the game, unlike supposedly Fallout VR is not that good. So I enjoyed it a lot.
And then tag on to that, one of my, I didn't put it anywhere, Farpoint VR.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to it.
Really enjoyed that this year. Played the whole thing. Only got a little motion sickness in a couple parts, but for the most
Now,
part,
you played with Move or you played with DualShock?
you could only play DualShock or the aim controller. So I played
you
DualShock
can't play with
because
Move.
I rented it. Yeah, you can't play Move. But yeah, those were all our things.
Any VR games to mention, Miguel?
Never. I mean, I just got the
Yeah, I didn't know.
system a couple weeks ago, and I'm
Drive
still
Club has
trying to
that.
get over that sickness, that
Getting
movement
acclimated
sickness.
to it.
Yeah, because like it's fine, and then all of a sudden it just happens, and you could tell. Like I start sweating way too much, and my head starts to hurt.
Get
I'm
really
like,
hot. Yeah, you get really hot.
I'm like, nope.
All right, and now it is time for our top 5 each. So we're gonna do one by one. We'll start with the pick number
We're going
5.
from
Pick number
5
4.
to
Right, and we'll all do our 5th pick, then our 4th pick, then our 3rd pick, and then so on. So Miguel, you want to go first? Pick
I'll go
number
first.
5, top 5.
Number 5. My game is Little Nightmares for number 5. I just got this game when they went on sale a couple weeks ago, so early this month, December. I'm sorry, and I really enjoyed it. It's I think you guys asked like, what is it about, or what's the gameplay? It's a side-scrolling game. There's little puzzles you gotta complete, and it's like horror.
But not
Yeah,
your
I could
stereotypical-
say it's like a horror game. I could classify it as that. I really enjoy it. It leaves the ending like open for your interpretation. I
like
believe.
another game on our top 5.
Yeah, it's. I really enjoyed it. Go ahead. I really enjoyed it.
All right. My game number 5 on my top 5. This game snuck up on me as well. I bought it recently as well.
Yeah.
Another
Snuck
small
up
little
in
game. What?
Snuck up in you.
It's on. Shut the fuck up. SteamWorld
Liar.
Dig 2. I mentioned it earlier in the podcast. SteamWorld Dig 2 is my number 5 game of 2017. And this game, it's just so fucking fun. It's so fun. Moment-to-moment stuff is so enjoyable. The puzzles in it, there's little caves that give you little puzzles to unlock new upgrade parts. And every time there's always so many unique puzzles and everything. Every time you start to think you're going to get bored, it adds a new type of mechanic or a new item or a new puzzle type, and it just keeps it fresh the whole time. And it's just so fucking fun. I love this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna ditto that for SteamWorld Dig 1. I played this year as well and really enjoyed it. But my number 5 is Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment. So this was, if you already own the game, it's just an added free in the update. But then if you could buy them all individually if you want.
Nope, that's only on Switch. You could buy Spectre Torment separately. On PlayStation, you can only buy the treasure trove.
Oh yeah, all right. But it's so. The reason why I think it's a game, or I consider it a game, because it is literally the size of Shovel Knight, the original, and
It was that big. I knew it was big. I didn't know it was that big. I thought it was like 2/3 the size of it.
I mean, they're the same amount of bosses. Maybe the levels could be one like gem short. I don't know. It felt like the same length to me. I mean, maybe a little shorter than Shovel Knight because that Shovel Knight had some middle stages. But the jumping around, I just played it again because I played it very early in the year. I played it again to see if it still feels awesome. The jumping with Spectre Knight and
The
how
movement in that game was great.
how you would jump and then you would go
You like slash through an item and it would warp you upwards.
It's like you could see where you're going. It has like it telegraphs like the movement very well. You could wall crawl on things. Very good, very fun, very awesome game. Highly recommend it.
And what I would add to that is that Shovel Knight as a whole, but especially Spectre Torment, it always gives you like a tutorial without telling you it's a tutorial. You know what I mean? Like there's no prompts, there's no press this to do this. It's just kind of like this quick little stage at the beginning that kind of like makes you learn the mechanics without telling you what the mechanics are. And so it does a great job of that.
It's
But especially Spectre Torment.
It's classic. Ego Raptor did a video, Sequel Ice, showing how Mega Man X teaches you games, just how like basic level design teaches you. Like in Super Mario level 1-1, like a Goomba walks towards you, and you would always hit like the thing. And it's like, oh, when my head hits this happens. It teaches you naturally. And the Shovel Knight franchise does that well.
Yeah,
well.
Excellent job. Yacht Club's great. Miguel, number 4.
Oh, we're doing that. Okay.
Number 4. Fortnite Battle Royale. I mean,
I'm really not surprised. This counts as a game. I mean, you played this game.
I told you guys. I told you guys before the game came out, Fortnite was gonna be huge. I nailed it.
For not the reason you thought though, but sure.
I nailed it.
I'll give it to you.
It's fun, dude. I like it a lot.
I love the game too. It was in my top 10. I just didn't make the top 5.
For consoles, it just feels great. The netcore feels great. The map size is great. The playing time is great. They added they're adding like bunch of like extra weapons and like they're adding stuff to the game, and it's making it fresh. Like every time I log in or I play, there's something new in the game that you could like play. Like the bush that everyone was going like, oh, it's gonna affect the game. It doesn't really do that.
It doesn't.
If you like put it, if you put it on, you could notice when someone's moving, and you're like, I saw you. I'm gonna get you, and just snipe him, and then he's done. So
I gotta confess, I've been playing that, by the way, solo, just because I was getting an itch to play. I'm like, I only jumped into.
You have been playing Fortnite?
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Man, only a couple matches here and there, but
you got to play with us though. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's great, dude.
Top 10 for me.
It's very good.
Especially when you're playing squads, just mess around, play around. Gets all chaotic at the end.
My number 4 is Persona 5. Now, this is a game that I was in between on for did not qualify and putting it in. But I put 20-something fucking hours in this game. So if
it's not a game like 100 hours?
Yeah, if putting 20 hours in a game doesn't qualify it, then I don't know what the fuck qualifies it. So I think I'm like 25 hours in. So I may have, if I had beaten it, I might have put it higher. But I think that I do have to count it against it a little bit, that it's like it is very, very slow paced and grindy and text heavy. I love that about it, but it also is detrimental to me burning through it. You know what I mean? Whereas Persona 4 Golden on Vita, I can play it on the go. It's a little easier to chunk it out. Being a home console release, I can only play it when I'm home on the couch, and I have set time out for it. So I love the game. The game is beautiful. The gameplay is great. The combat perfected, previous Persona combat.
Mm-hmm.
The characters are they're classic Persona characters in a good way, great way. And the mystery isn't as enthralling as Persona 4, but it's just different. So I don't want to. That's not a negative, but I do like the idea of the game.
It seems like it's more about the combat, right? Than like the story.
I mean, there's still there's a heavy influence, heavy, not influence. What's the word? Like the story is a very major part of the game. It's just different. It's a very different type of story than Persona 4 Golden was.
So you put in 20 hours or more. If it eventually comes to Switch, is the game good enough?
Vita?
Or the Vita.
For me to play through the first 20 hours again, yes.
20 hours again, yeah. It is?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Worthy?
For me personally. I don't know about you, but for me, yes.
And for me, number 4, Accounting Plus. It's only about an hour long experience in VR.
Hour plus, dude, I'll give it.
Hour plus if you want to listen to everyone's conversations.
I'd say it's like I beat it in like 40 minutes.
Yeah. But you could.
But there's different stories in the game, right? Like if you beat it,
but even doing everything in it doesn't take that much longer.
Yeah, the dialogue's yes. I mean this is really.
I don't think the link affects it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's my ideal VR game.
That's a good point.
Jumping. It's one episode, of a TV show. Imagine. And you get enough interaction that makes it like worthy of being like a game or something, and like
there's not really any voyeur moments where you're just sitting doing nothing. You're always kind of interacting.
You're always part of the play, which I love how Accounting does, and other games do that as well. Job Simulator, the Rick and Morty VR game. But yeah, shouts out to William Pugh and Justin Roiland. I mean, and also coming from Stanley Parable and Beginner's Guide. I mean, I like Stanley Parable way more than Beginner's Guide, but still some amazing freaking games. And Accounting Plus just blew it out of the water for me.
All right. Number 3, Miguel.
Number 3 is Wolfenstein 2 for me.
New Colossus.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. They grabbed me since the beginning. Something that didn't happen for you two guys for whatever reason.
I didn't get
mainly because the Caroline.
I love
you, especially. It's
Miguel. You played 1, right? New Order.
I started. I didn't finish it though, because first hour it was so.
I don't think I'm gonna make it, Caroline.
Yeah, because
the twist between in the game, in the middle of the game. I was
like, whoa, what the?
Yeah, and they just embrace that for the rest of the game, which is great. At the ending, oh yes, I love it. It's really good. They nailed it. Dude.
Great. Gameplay is.
I think it's better than the first one. I mean, I didn't play the whole game, right? But what I hear from everyone talking, it's just better than the first one.
Improved on the first one.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the 3rd game in this trilogy.
This game
is going to be a 3rd.
For a 3rd so well.
There is going to be a 3rd. I think that was the plan since the beginning, probably for them.
Which I want to make some parallels off camera about Wolfenstein 2 and The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
we'll do that off air.
I'm just thinking right now. Expect, I guess, Wolfenstein 3 in 2020, right? Because New Order is 14.
Yeah. Around there, yeah. I can see it. 2020, 2021, early 2021.
Really cranking on it and they get it out in 2019, but I doubt it. All right, number 3 for me is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Another game I got late in the year, 2018. This game, I adore this game. I know Jeffrey's got some issues with it, but Miguel, is with me on it.
I was on it since the beginning.
Being someone that has, types of mental illness, not the exact type that Senua has, but it kind of hit home and hit hard a little bit, and especially the ending really resonated with me a lot. The way that it ended with me personally, and honestly, I think the combat's a little underrated. I had a lot of fun with the combat in that game. It did a good job of the combat got repetitive a little bit, but it only gave it to you in small chunks and after a long stretch. So it never really got repetitive because you would go so long before you got into another fight scene. And I thought it was really fun, especially the end. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a part at the end where you're just kind of, it's a really fun sequence at the end. This is also on Miguel's list. So unless he wants to bring it up again, do you want to get anything in here?
I'll just say it. I really enjoyed it. I told you guys since the beginning when I played it. I was day in. I bought it day 1 when it came out. I saw the previews. I was following the game, so I knew what to expect. And when I played it, it's just, I told you guys to buy it day 1, and I told and the podcast too, to buy it. I think it's one of the best games of the year, especially what it does. I mean, you already said it, but what it does, with the character from where it starts to towards the end, the ending is just great. I don't want to spoil anything neither.
And it's very open to interpretation as well. Yeah. But it resonated with me so much, the way that the game ended.
Yeah, the combat, I do gotta say that it felt great from the beginning, and then towards the end, really, really at the end, as I kind of know what to do. You're not gonna die that easily.
I thought it was just so fun at
it's
the
just,
end. That's the thing. It's I feel like Senua's been through all this hell, no pun intended, and it's just I don't want to spoil it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a great game. If you haven't played it, I think you should buy it and play it. It's worth $30 in my opinion.
It's honestly, this game could have been $60 and been worth $60.
I don't think so, dude. Maybe 40 for sure, but 60 because if they had released it for $60, dude, it wouldn't have sold as much as it did, and people wouldn't have talked about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I could see it for 40.
I personally think that this game is worth $60, but I think the fact that it's 30 helps it a lot. Doesn't hurt it. All right, so Miguel, you're number 3.
Jeffrey,
But
number 3.
no, that was So that
Oh,
was
you did your number 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that was Hellblade is also Miguel's number 2. So I'm gonna say my third, and then Anthony says third. Fuck, that was your third.
Just say your third. Well,
my
say
third
your
is-
Say
third.
your third, and then you do your
I'm just
third,
gonna
and
say
then
number 2,
you do
and
your
then
third,
we
your
go
second.
to Anthony. And
Okay.
that's it.
So my number third, surprised it wasn't on your list. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
This was like number 6 on my list.
Same here.
Another non-$60 game, $40. It originally started as a DLC, of course. This game like proved that Uncharted could live on and still tell amazing stories without Nathan Drake, because the writers behind it and their engine and their gameplay is so fantastic that they could pick any of the what do they have? Not even a dozen, like half a dozen characters they have that isn't Nathan Drake and tell an amazing story. And it was more Uncharted in a year. We didn't have an Uncharted. I mean, we had them last year, the year before, but
And it was an Uncharted game. It didn't feel short-changed or anything. I actually liked that it was a shorter game.
yeah, I'm big.
I like that about it.
I'm looking into Dead Rising 4 right now. It's supposed to be a 10-hour game. That excites me. I don't really like going into these 30-hour things unless
it's an RPG that you want to get invested in.
Yeah.
It's not higher in my top 5 just because it's more Uncharted, and I feel like I played Uncharted the year before, and I loved it.
Oh wow!
And I
my
needed like for those type of games, like I need a couple years to actually like enjoy it a lot. It's like let's just say like Last of Us, the first Last of Us comes out, and then a year later there's like a similar game, Last of Us, like something. It's around the same time. It's something like that. Like I didn't enjoy that as much.
Yeah, I could see that, but I mean, Chloe's
they didn't innovate anything really if you think about it.
They did kind of.
It did feel like it could have been called Uncharted 4: The Lost Legacy, and that's what I said that in the past too. So,
yeah.
And then why don't you do your number 2, because my number 2 and Miguel's number 1 are the same.
Oh, it is. That's funny. Okay, and my number 2, What Remains of Edith Finch, Giant Sparrow's second game. Unfinished One was the first. I feel like it was the third, but
it's their second PlayStation 4 game at least. I don't know if they've done any PC games.
The setup is just that this is not a spoiler. You're returning to your family's house, and
that's on the trailer.
It's kind of vignettes of some of your family members have passed away, and like looking through the room. So whenever one of your family members dies, like the family traditions, like you lock up that door. So like your character like finds interesting ways to get in each people's room, and then it tells like this different story.
That has story.
Gameplay. It could either be like a top-down RPG or like a first-person like owl simulator game. It gets really zany like in how it tells the stories, but the stories themselves are very grounded, very relatable. I can feel this attachment towards all these characters, and like I really haven't since like maybe Walking Dead season 1 or something. Like something's the game that I care this much about these characters.
I played the game.
Yeah.
And because it's the game since divided in stories, right? I really, really love like half of the stories. Loved them, dude. And I told you which ones. Yeah. And I really just for the other half. Like especially the first one. I was like, really? All right, whatever.
That's it. I mean, I loved all of them. Hence why it's on my number.
I see why you like it, but
yeah,
as like for me, it's just like half of it was so good, especially the end, because I wasn't expecting what happened at the end.
Yeah,
and some of the stories were just like, okay, I guess they're all right.
Fair enough. Yeah, a lot of the stories, in the way they're told, in their subject matter, it can be very hit or miss. But for me, they all hit. And
but great game though.
And again, this might be an asterisk for me because I'm sure I'm going to get to it sooner than later. Yeah. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. So,
just gotta say number 2 for me was Hellblade, just in case we miss it. Yeah. I think we said it, but just in case.
And so number 2 for me is number 1 for Miguel. So we'll both just talk about it now, and that is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
Now this game, I was sold on it the second I saw it. I saw robot dinosaurs and fucking what's her name. Rose Leslie, fucking Game of Thrones. No, what's her name? fucking before I knew she was Aloy, I was like, oh, that's what's her name from Game of Thrones. Fucking
Redhead.
why can't I remember her goddamn name? Fucking Rose Leslie's the actress. I can't remember the character name. You know nothing, gents. But I was like, oh yeah, that looks awesome. And then we learned more about it, and Aloy's story kind of came out, and I loved every second of this game. There was no moments where I was like, fuck this game. I loved every second of it. The gameplay I thought was fantastic.
So good.
The
loop of the game.
I love games with bows and arrows, so that helped it a lot. But the gameplay itself was great. The enemy variety I thought was very well done, and the cauldrons I thought were cool. This game, it's just it got barely edged out by my number one. Which I'll get to in a minute because I want to let you talk about Horizon as well. But this game clearly deserves Game of the Year considerations. It's just such a good game from front to back, especially with Guerrilla Games coming off of a first-person shooter pedigree. They did 4 first-person Resistance games. I don't know what they did before. What did they?
Killzone.
Shell Shock.
Killzone.
Did I say Resistance? I meant Killzone.
Yeah, Killzone.
Shell Shock.
They were known for
Killzone.
They were known for the Killzone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were known for Killzone. So coming off of 4.
It was unexpected for the game to be that good.
Adventure game. So.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. The game's great. It's my game of the year. It went with another consoles game that I briefly changed it. It was like number 1 for like a couple of days, and then I'm like, no, it's not. It's Horizon, the overall for the year.
You're gonna put for your all across all platforms. You were gonna
it was gonna be Mario, and then I switched it because I was like, I started playing the DLC Frozen Wilds again.
I played it the other day again a little bit.
And it's just like, I can't. The game is just so good, dude. The mechanics are great.
It's so fun.
They nailed the map size too, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Because you could the map is big, right? But there's so much stuff to do, and the way that you could traverse using like a bull, like hijacking a bull,
mounting
a bull or whatever, and going around just looking at the map, dude.
And honestly, I can kind of compare the map size to Final Fantasy 15. They're kind of similar in how big they are. They're big enough where it's large, but it's not so big like there's a lot of games this past year that had they were so like Assassin's Creed Origins or like Ghost Recon Wildlands or even like Shadow of War. The maps were so big that it almost gave you anxiety. It's like I don't know if I'm gonna have time for all this. Horizon and Final Fantasy 15, they were perfect map sizes.
And 100% of the game until they put the
I
plus the what was it? What's it called? The
New Game Plus.
New Game Plus. There you go. And I'm like, are you guys kidding me? I had 100%.
Those trophies are only beat it again on New Game Plus. So.
Oh yeah, but
but you and I both platinum the game.
Yes, I did.
My wife actually platinum the game, so only platinum.
I mean, it's great. What can you say?
I gotta also say the combat is. So I'm not as high on it, but still, I gotta commend the combat for being super tight and just feeling very like when you're shooting a bow and arrow at one guy and like rolling around him and like doing that classic like strafe like.
One thing that they did, I think, great.
Slow-mo with the sliding was so awesome.
Yeah, when you have multiple robots, when you got the big, what's like the one Thunderjaw? No, Thunderjaw's like the main one, like. It takes a while for you to kill if you don't know what you're doing. And when you have that guy and then like the smaller ones around you and you got to figure out what to do. Like,
should you be working on this Thunderjaw? Should
you like use something to
does such a good job of everything seems scary at the beginning of the game. It's like, oh, I don't want to fuck with that yet. And then at the end of the game, you're like, fuck everything, I'll take everything on. But
especially when you like
building you up of like how you learn to like analyze like what enemy types, like where do you pick them off, what things do you blow off of them with, you know what I mean? So you learn. I want to start the game of it. It's so good.
I like that you start, like you said, the game is kind of scary at the beginning because you don't know what to do or what to do to beat the robots. But when you get to the point when you get the special armor, and then after that, you're just like a badass. Dude. She's a badass.
Yeah, and having
going in with no fear.
DLC, like I almost want
so good, dude.
OP. So, but anyway,
Congrats to Gorilla, dude, because they nailed that game.
Excellent game. So now I'll do my number one, and then Jeffrey does his number one. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. You do your number one because I don't want that to be the last game we talk about.
Shouts out number one, my top game of the year, Destiny 2. Of course, it has problems. I've said it on the podcast. You've read articles about it, making headlines.
You nominate this as a game of the year.
We remember what we said. We're gonna be going
Destiny
easy on them.
2,
I love the campaign. Love the campaign.
It'd be unfair if I didn't have this number one, in the sense I put so much time into it. I really do love this game. After all,
Dude,
stop talking about it. And like 10 of our podcast episodes had Destiny in the title.
I put so much time to the cause every year, and you're not my number one.
That's different. You're not getting any. I mean,
yeah.
Just let Jeffrey talk.
Regardless of Destiny's issues, there's still some moments, like I was saying when I was giving the shouts out to Battlefront 2 earlier, when like, oh, you seeing Yoda and Kylo Ren just doing the thing. There are moments in Destiny 2 where I'm just like running around in the EDZ in this public area. A public event starts. 6 dudes who all know what they're doing jump in. I don't know any of these guys. I've been listening to a podcast on my phone. And we're all just taking this guy down. Everyone's throwing supers simultaneously. It's this whole like orchestra of explosions, and it looks beautiful. I mean, Destiny is some of the like most like diverse and just lush environments. Like, it looks like if No Man's Sky was actually a good game.
Well, at least with that one planet. Io, right?
There's a Mercury planet. No, even in the DLC, there's a planet that looks even more like No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Okay.
The raid was very fun, albeit a little frustrating and a little glitchy in some areas.
But not the best one, though.
Not the best raid, no, but it was a good raid nonetheless. Each raid has their ups and downs. I mean, I kind of want to give it like, this is not, because Destiny this year, back in April, was primo Destiny. If there's ever a time to see what Destiny's like at its best, it was April of 2017.
Was that Rise of Iron?
It was after Rise of Iron. Rise of Iron was.
Is that when they boosted all the raids up to 3?
When they boosted the raids, yeah. And it was kind of like this, like, goodbye to Destiny 1. And so kind of like bundling that, like my experiences with like original Destiny from 2017 with Destiny 2. So that's why I'll give like Destiny.
So you're blending them together.
Yeah. But I mean,
so still Destiny 1 is your number one.
Hey, listen, it's
not Destiny 2.
You do whatever.
You get what I'm saying. But yeah, no, just Destiny. Yeah, I just thought about that on spot. But Destiny is my number one experience game.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2, yeah. Destiny 1.
You're kind of cheating there a little bit, but my number one
on my list. Get out of here.
Yeah, my number one
podcast
is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now, I am a huge Resident Evil fan. Resident Evil 4 is one of my all-time favorite games. I played that game I don't know how many fucking times on how many different consoles. And I love Resident Evil 4. 5 and 6. I enjoyed 5, 6, 7. When they said it's a first-person shooter, I was like, I don't know about that. And even my best friend who got me into Resident Evil, he still hasn't played it yet because he's like, it's a first-person game.
Didn't they first say it was going to be VR? And then they were like, oh, no, it's also regular.
No.
I think that was within 5 minutes of like, they revealed it and it's in VR. And then they're like, you can play it non-VR too. That was like that. Yeah, that's another thing. But so it's a first-person game. And my best friend who got me into Resident Evil, he still hasn't played it because he's like, I don't know, it's first person, it's weird.
Before you get into why you like it and why is your number one, I do gotta say, when they rebuild it, when they started the kitchen demo, and then they switched it to the actual game and what it was gonna be called,
when they revealed
that blew my mind. I was like, what?
Me too.
I was so hyped for the game.
I was like, oh my god, we're getting a Resident Evil. Like, no one expected it. It came out of nowhere. Everyone was like, holy shit, this is a Resident Evil game. So when they revealed that, I was like, yes, that's awesome. But then a part of me was still like, I don't know, it's first person. That's weird. And I jumped into it at launch. And it's the game that stuck with me the most the whole year. I couldn't I only beat it once. And the whole year, I was like, man, I want to go back and play Resident Evil. Or, man, that part of Resident Evil was awesome. Or, man, the layout of that fucking house in Resident Evil was fucking dope. Or I really liked fighting that enemy in Resident Evil. And it just stuck with me the whole year. And it really did kind of not reboot, but kind of re-energize that franchise, especially since 6 was and not Origins, Revelations 2 were fine games, but they're not heavyweight, like, AAA entries.
Yes, top notch.
Yeah, and they just re-released it on pretty much every console, but it just came out on Switch. Revelations 2 was good. It was good. It was okay. It's not a heavyweight game in the franchise. It was good. But this game it's what the franchise needed. It's Resident Evil's back in a big way. It was the first real major full-length PSVR game. And it was so good. Like the end of the game for some people kind of trails off because it gets a little weird in a typical Resident Evil way. I thought it was fine, but I understand some people have some issues with towards the end of the game. But no one can argue the first 2/3 of that game are so fucking good, and I love this game. I love everything about it. Really, I mean the level design is almost it's near perfect for me. It's just so good. And the change to first person actually made it a lot better for me because it's kind of like when you're in first person in PUBG versus like other people are playing in third person and it's like fuck I can't see everything that I could possibly see, and it kind of adds so much more tension by being a first person game. So yeah, that's our top 5.
Agreed.
I don't think you guys have anything to add to Resident Evil because Miguel, you've dabbled with it.
I haven't. Yeah, I like the first part. I really like it.
It gets better. I mean, it's like that's like the intro's great. It keeps getting more awesome. So the way that our top 5 break down, so we scored this based on points. Number 1 getting a 5, and then number 5 would get a 1. So inverse order. And our top 5 ends up ranking after we add all the scores together as Horizon Zero Dawn number 1 with 9 points, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice at number 2 with 7 points, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard with 5 points, and Destiny 2 with 5 points at 3 and 4. And What Remains of Edith Finch at number 5 with 4 points. Now, we do have a couple of you guys on the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/PS Best Friends, have given your top 5 games, and we'd like to list those off now. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
So we got Jake Jericho coming off with Yakuza 0, Shadow Tactics, Blade of the Shogun, Final Fantasy 12, Pillars of Eternity, Persona 5. Very Japanese-oriented list. And he's also giving nods to Nier and Avon Colony. Very interesting. Nathan Ulig wants to say his top 3 are Lost Legacy, Wildlands, and Full Throttle Remastered. Forgot that came out this year, but wasn't that a free plus game, if I recall as well?
No,
it was Green
Fandango was, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
And the other one.
There was another one.
Yeah, there was 2 of them. Yeah, there you go.
Ryan Kelly, Gravity Rush 2, Horizon, Persona 5, Knack 2. Not sure if Knack's a joke or not, but we'll go with it.
Some people actually like the game.
Yeah, some people did. Gravity Rush 2 being there, and we haven't talked about that.
That's another one I just didn't play. Did not qualify.
I have the demo on my system. I don't know why I've never gone to it, though. Frederick Johnson, Persona 5, Horizon. We're seeing a lot of those, too. Night in the Woods, Nier, and Edith Finch.
Night in the Woods is one I got to get to as well. That's like such a me game. I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. So that's another one I got to get to.
Word. Christopher Burback, Horizon, Nier Automata, Pyre, we were talking about earlier, Persona 5, and Destiny 2. Has Destiny up there. Nice. And Jivesh Hanuman, Persona 5, Nier Automata, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Hellblade, Gravity Rush 2. He completed it, and it climbed up quite a bit.
Not bad.
So we're seeing a lot of, if you guys still want to send us any, we'll read them next week. We'll do one more round if you guys have any. If not, no big deal.
Hold up. Scrolling back in time to the Islander report, there was this leak earlier. It hasn't been confirmed to America.
That's why they didn't put it in there.
That's why they didn't put it in there.
Confirmed.
Shout out just in case. Burnout Paradise remake coming to PS4. We'll see.
It leaked in Japan, but there's no confirmation.
Yeah. For an American release. We'll see.
And so before we move on, I'll give a couple more shout outs to, I myself made a top 15 list. I'm not going to talk about them. I'll just list them off quick. 15, Dead by Daylight, fun game. Call of Duty World War II is up there just because I played the campaign. It was good. Ghost Recon Wildlands because it's the SOCOM that we will never get. Star Wars Battlefront 2 because the campaign was a little underrated. Middle-earth Shadow of War just because Lord of the Rings. Fortnite Battle Royale at number 10. Excellent game. I just couldn't justify it higher. Destiny 2 at number 9. Uncharted The Lost Legacy at number 8. Flame in the Flood at number 7. This is a game I want to give a little blurb about. Similar to Hellblade: Senua Sacrifice, this game kind of was there for me in some kind of rough moments in my life, and it's a very dark game about surviving on your own, and it's kind of a very time and place game for me. I really, really love this game. Go check it out. Very small game. I think it's like $15-20. And then number 6 was Wolfenstein 2: The New Order. I did enjoy that quite a bit. I just it was in my top 5 until SteamWorld knocked it out last second. And any last second mentions for you guys before we move on to games?
Here, I do want to mention. I don't know if you guys want to do it, but I'm gonna mention them. Games that I played on other consoles or PC.
We can do that quick. We'll do it quick.
Because I liked Mario's overall. If you were saying overall, Horizon's obviously number 1, but second will be Mario, and then PUBG.
You love PUBG.
I love PUBG, dude. I love it on PC. On PC. On Xbox is garbage.
See, I'm used to it running like shit on my computer, so the Xbox version is the same thing for me. So
I just don't like now that
individually it's no different.
That I'm playing it. It's forcing me every time to play in the desert map, and I don't like the desert map because it's just way too big. And if you're not in the middle of the circle and it starts shrinking and you're not around there, you're fucked because you gotta be running and someone's camping on a mountain or something. They're gonna snipe you and you're dead. It's like pure luck if you're gonna win at the end.
Yeah. But you have more for?
Oh no, it's just I had to mention those 2.
Yeah, all mine. I like all my other
Zelda. It's not even. That's fucking garbage. Hot garbage.
Yeah, my top 5. I tweeted it on any console is Mario, PUBG, Zelda, Destiny 2, and what remains. I'll beat Finch.
Nothing else on Switch.
Every system got some love.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, and Cuphead.
Oh, for you, you played it.
Great game. I didn't beat it, but I played a lot of it. I watched my best friend speedrun it in like 35 minutes.
Wow.
That game, I just want people to go play that game. That's all. So, such a good game.
It's worth the $20.
Oh, absolutely. That's a game that could have been $30-40.
Really? Okay.
All right, and so that's going to wrap up our Game of the Year discussions. If you have anything you want to add, feel free to start a thread or join Jake Jericho's thread on the Facebook group. Again, that is facebook.com/groups/PSBestFriends. We want to hear from you. What was your favorite games from last year? What are your favorite games in general? Go ahead. Let's do a top 10 list of all your favorite games of all time. Why not? But now it is time for the first round of Game Time for 2017. This is your first episode of PS Best Friends. At this time, I look up 5 games, get their Metacritic scores for the respective PlayStation version. If it's on multiple PlayStation consoles, I will specify which one, and Miguel and Jeffrey take turns guessing the scores. Whoever gets the most right at the end of the day or is closest to that score wins the day. So, who wants to go first today?
I won, so he's going first.
All right, that settles it.
Champion.
So, Jeffrey, the first game of this week is The Vanishing of Ethan Carter for PlayStation 4.
I was just looking at that the other day. I thought I had it on my system, but I didn't. The Chinese room developed, I think. I don't think so.
They did.
Dear Esther, I know.
No, they did the Plus game. That Dear Esther too. But what was that Plus game?
Everybody's got the rapper. Yeah. 84.
Miguel?
80.
Starting in a hole for 2018, Jeffrey, 81 point. Miguel.
Nice.
Miguel, Super Motherload for PlayStation 4.
Oh, dude, I had. Oh, that's the game that I played like in.
Played it in like an hour, right?
Yeah.
I love that game so much.
That was a free game, right? For Plus?
Plus game, yep.
Was it? It probably became.
Yeah, because I remember.
I wouldn't have played it if it wasn't a Plus game.
No, I bought that at lunch.
I do not know how I did. The game is okay. So I'm going to say 70.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, I don't know. Back in I feel like they were being harsh on it.
I think it sold decently because it was like one of the first games.
But right? I remember that the 2013 launch consoles, they're lowballing a bunch of games. 72.
What did you say, Miguel?
70.
One? Is
And
it?
a whole 65.
Oh,
Wow, way lower than I thought.
Miguel 2, Jeffrey Zippalip.
I thought it was higher than 70, but
Yeah,
Jeffrey, game
I'll
number
take it.
3. Jonathan Blow's
The
hit
Witness
game, The Witness,
on PS4.
Oh,
on PlayStation 4, not the iOS version.
It's on PS. It's on PC.
It's on PC and Xbox as well. Remember when before we started recording, I was like, iOS. This is the game I was talking about.
Oh, cute. It all connects. I go first.
You go
yeah.
first.
Witness is a 90.
Miguel?
Wow. I remember IGN's like.
Marty.
I just remember that review. It was like in the 90s, but
I think.
But I remember
Marty
people.
Sleva loved this.
Yeah, he loved it.
But
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's
if
the
he
one that
reviewed
reviewed it, right?
I don't know if he reviewed it.
I don't know.
Might have, but I don't remember.
But I remember seeing people that really hate it when they were reviewing it.
It
Some
was
things
so
in the 90s.
hard. It was so hard.
What did you say, Jeffrey?
I said
90?
90. I said 90.
I say 85.
Say the number. Whoa.
I said 85.
It's 87. So it's right.
So I
in
won then.
Oh, it is.
Because it's
No,
2, 3. No, it's
right in the middle.
88 will be in the middle.
No.
No.
You said
It's
90.
87, 88, 90,
Yeah.
85, 86, 87.
Wouldn't it be 88 in the middle? Because it's right in the
No.
middle.
There's only one number between 88 and 90.
But it's in the middle from 5 to. Okay, whatever. Dude.
Seven
I'll give
in
it
the
to
middle
you.
of 5 and 10.
Pull out the calculator.
It's from
All
1
right,
to 5.
I'm
The
gonna
middle
look,
one is 3, right?
I'm gonna look up one more game, but we'll keep going while I'm looking up another
From
game.
1 to 5, which one's the middle one?
3 would be in the middle of 1 and 5.
Okay, it's
7 is in the
it's
middle
the
of 5 and
same-
10.
all right. Whatever.
So I'm gonna look up another one. But the next game is the Banner Saga, for
8.
PlayStation
The one
4.
in the
Miguel.
middle. It's 8. Whatever.
No, it's
What's the game? I got robbed, but all right, whatever.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
What's the game?
The Banner
No,
Saga.
It's
for PlayStation.
87.5.
What?
The middle number between our two. So if it's 87.
So you're saying Point Miguel.
No, it's fine.
I-
We just
yeah.
do the next one.
The
I
Banner
got it.
Saga.
The
PlayStation.
Banner Saga. Oh, I have no clue about this game, dude. I'm gonna say 80. I have no
Banner
clue.
Saga, 83.
So I'm not going to bother looking up another game then because it's a 79, Miguel. This week.
Fuck.
And I had no clue, dude. I didn't even know what the game is.
So there's one more game for the week. We'll do it just for ha-has.
We skew high. I don't know why.
Miguel. Oh, no, Jeffrey, this will be you. Poker Night 2 for PlayStation 3.
Oh, dude, you
Active
kidding me?
inventory. That game was so whack. It had like good gameplay and like good character and stuff, but the loading took forever. Like every action took.
Poker Night 2 was okay. I played it on 360 though, so I don't know if it was
No, the
worse.
PS3 version must have because I think it was running on.
Poker Night
Switch.
2, I never played Poker Night 1, like Poker Night at the inventory. Poker Night 2 was just called Poker Night 2.
Oh, I don't know. I just put that word then. No, 72
Miguel?
on the PS3.
PS3.
Yeah, 72.
75, I guess. I don't know.
It was a 63, so Jeffrey at least gets a point, but loses the week. So Miguel starts off the year with a dub. And we'll
Are you recording these? You putting these down anywhere?
Who, me? Who,
Yeah,
like
you
the winners?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm writing it down. I have the list of all the winners dating back to episode 26 when we
Oh,
started.
okay. Word. I was just thinking. I'm like, oh. We're just
All right.
vaguely remembering from week to week.
No, I'm writing them down. Don't worry. All right, so Miguel starts with a dub. Jeffrey is just on
Like
a
always.
massive losing streak. I think he's won 2 out of like 10 or something like that.
I mean, he technically tied it because we missed the week and it was tied.
I won the veto one, I think. So that's all that matters.
You did win the Vita one that didn't matter.
Yeah. So
Yeah, if you want to
I
submit
mean, we
games
tied that one.
to play
Anyway.
for me to read during game time, feel free to hit us up. What's the Gmail? psbestfriendspod@gmail.com. Or you can DM us at PSBF Podcast, but actually you can't do that because Miguel will be on that. So just in the headline or in the subject line on the email, just write game time suggestion, and then I will try to look at it before Miguel sees it. If he sees it, then we'll go from there. This has been the PS Best Friends podcast,
Well,
episode 34.
easier. It'd be easier if they just message you from Facebook, from the group.
You know what? That's fine too. Message me individually.
Tweet it at you.
Whatever.
Or just
You know,
tweet
you
it.
guys are
Yeah.
smarter than me, okay?
Tweet it to the PS.
I'm two bird dogs deep, okay? Trico is fucking hanging out with me today. Again, this has been the
Bird
PS Best Friends
dog!
podcast, episode 34. For any questions, comments, and concerns, email us at psbestfriendspod@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at psbfpodcast. And Miguel, where can people find you?
They can find me at Dark Angel 1010 at the PlayStation store. No,
It is weird because
I'm not even drinking
gamer
it.
tags,
It's fucking
PlayStation.
affecting
There's
me.
not really any term for PlayStation Network
Yeah.
name.
PSN
Like,
ID.
it's a-
I used
PSN ID.
to.
I guess.
That's so much less cool than gamer tags, though.
Yeah, obviously. What's your tag,
Um,
bro? And yeah, you can
and
find
Jeffrey-
me on PSN Brawl96 or on Twitter and everywhere else, Mr. Brawl96. I tweet out my thoughts of any movie pass movie I see. So if you're itching to get those,
You should do like a little movie pass mini podcast,
or
or like it's like a
Or
60
just
second
record
review type
yourself.
thing, like
Yeah,
gaming.
exactly. Like
I
from
do-
your phone,
I
from your
I
phone,
do-
record that and put it on YouTube. Yeah, real quick.
You should. You should do something like that.
I do the tweets while I'm in the credits. While the credits roll, I pick up my
Yeah.
phone.
You should do.
like,
You know what would be
like
cool?
you're recording yourself walking out and giving your thoughts.
Or just sitting down there, dude. Just whatever you're thinking about, just record yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Like you like
in the
walk into
middle-
your car or
in the
something and
middle
just
of the
record
movie.
yourself.
Yeah, in the middle of the fucking movie, they just pop
Bring
it out.
my mic. Bring the mic.
Oh boy!
I mean,
and
just
not
use the mic from the phone. Who cares?
like you're just walking into the
No,
fucking.
that's not the headphones. Yeah, I'm walking in with the whole setup.
Oh boy! And you can find me on PSN, the only X188. That's spelled out ONE, and then the number's 88. If you want to know what my name is derived from, you can listen to the past episodes because I've talked about it then, or you can message me if you give a shit that much. Also, please don't forget to subscribe again on iTunes, Google Play, anything that you listen to us on. I use Overcast. Jeffrey uses Downcast. So whatever you use, if you can just give us a 5-star rating, iTunes especially, even if you don't listen on iTunes, would be the best for us.
Oh, shouts out if you do listen to Downcast or no, I think it only shows up on iTunes podcast app. You notice that our author has it says PS Best
yeah,
Friend
so annoying.
with the 2 parentheses. Playing Transistor, that's like a style. That's how they stylize their trophies, and like it's part of the game also because like code and stuff. But after every trophy is the parentheses open and close. It's like, oh, it's a reference, you know.
But yeah, so that 5-star rating will it'll bump us up on the charts, which will get more listeners, which will get more interaction in the Facebook groups, which will make it more fun for everyone. So if you can go do that, we would really, really appreciate it. Instead of giving a review, quote unquote, just tell us what your favorite games are, what your favorite PlayStation game is, or give us a suggestion for the show. That'd be a huge help. And also go check us out on YouTube. Just Google. I keep saying that. Go on the search bar on YouTube. Just type in PS Best Friends. Jeffrey put up some gameplay of Accounting Plus. Miguel just put up a video recently of what he thinks the next game to put to
Hopefully,
kind of
I'm hoping for it, 'cause it'd be
incorporate
so
the
good.
battle royale game mode, which isn't spoilers. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't what I was expecting.
It wasn't Paladins. But so he put up a video
Battlefield.
about that. I'm gonna put up
Battlefield.
stuff soon.
Yo, I
and check out
oh,
there as well.
some Battlefield 4 this
Second.
week. So good. So
Yeah,
good.
it's better than Battlefield 1. I do gotta say, I'm gonna put the top 5 video in there this week. I'm gonna obviously the podcast is gonna be in the YouTube, and I'm gonna do a special one how to turn your PS3 into a PS4. It's great.
We're just
Oh,
gonna
it's
post the
classic.
video.
We should
And,
talk to that about it.
Yeah, and also if you're either into
I
spoilers
gotta ask.
or what?
Jeffrey, did you believe that, or because I know you were like asking, and then
So
Anthony,
Miguel-
I forgot that the description comes out on the
I
when I share it. I was like, fuck.
Miguel puts this link in the Facebook group chat
So I asked first.
to YouTube. Yeah, how to upgrade your PS3 to a
No,
PS4.
I asked like, should I do it? And you guys
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, what?
I'm like, what? And then at first I'm like what? Use a DualShock 4 and just play PS Now games. But then I'm like, oh no, you can't do that. And then Miguel's like, it's fake. I'm like, oh.
Oh, Anthony's side was
Yeah,
fake.
I
was
I
damn it.
screenshot out of the section that said this video was fake.
Yeah, I'm like, I forgot the description comes out. I was like, oh,
But
whatever.
yeah, if you either don't care about spoilers or have played every single game that's come out in 2017, Jeffrey and I are going to do a fun little additional video. It's not part of the episode. It's only going to be on YouTube, so go check that out. We're going to do a cute little short video after this. So go check that out. But this has been a PS Best Friends episode 34. Thanks again for listening in, and we will catch you all next week.
Peace out.